So what is an htaccess file? Well, it's a Linux Unix-based command file that sits in the root of the web server. So I've used a lot of words there. The root of the web server is basically the bottom. So if you typed in www.happypeople.com/htaccess, then you would be able to access the file. Now, the system will not actually display that file because it's a hidden system file. And basically, that system file allows you to give specific instructions to the server. One of those instructions would be to rewrite your URLs. So in PHP and on a Linux-based server, you can rewrite your URLs quite easily using the htaccess file. You just put some basic code in there. It's not that simple, but once you can copy and paste it, you can get your URLs to be rewritten in quite amazing ways. You can also use the htaccess file for security purposes. So, for example, if you wanted to lock down a specific folder on your web server so that there was a password required, you could do that by just putting in a simple htaccess file in the root of that folder. And it's a nice way to give extra functionality to different parts of the site. So any folder can have a htaccess file, and each basically folder is treated independently by the server, with the master htaccess file sitting in the root of the file, controlling all the master functions. So that's basically what a htaccess file is. Windows does not have this functionality, so it is a bit of a drawback with Windows. So you have to do that type of things actually on the server itself. And often you do not have access from the server on a shared server when you're purchasing shared server space. You don't have access to the functionality that the server can give you. So that's often locked away, and you have to send a support ticket request to do certain basic things that you can do on a Linux-based server. So that's often why people go for open source and Linux. Apart from the cost, it's a lot more flexible, and the SEO is far more controllable. So if you're ever going to set up a server, go for PHP, MySQL, and a Linux-based software is my best recommendation, unless you really, really need a Windows solution or another solution. So that gives you a bit more information about what the htaccess file is all about. And just if you ever go looking for that file, it may be hidden. You might not be able to see it. And it doesn't have a file extension. It's just htaccess, ACCESS, if my English is correct. There's no file extension. If you see a htaccess.txt file, it is not an active file. It has been deactivated, and often developers will put a txt on the end of it to deactivate it. And then if you remove the .txt extension, then it becomes active, and it can crash your server. So don't go renaming those files unless you really know what is inside them. So that's a little bit more about htaccess and how it can affect your server and your software.